Welcome to the Flip Your Chips podcast.
Well, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, baby. All right, so welcome to Flip Your Chips podcast. Here it's not just about the ROI in dollars, but also the ROI in life. Achieving one without the other is like a half flip coin. We're here to bridge the gap, offering tips, tools, and resources in finance and entertainment. Let's flip those chips and make every investment count.
And this episode of Flip Your Chips was brought to you by Tire Water, the best
You know what?
spring water. Make sure you stay fly high, dripping in the sky. You dig? How you doing, sis?
I'm well. How are you?
Man, you know what? I always say I'm blessed by the best because I am. But I like to be very vulnerable, and transparent at times. I'm coming out of getting to know me, but we're gonna talk more about that, like in the podcast. But I'm excited about today. It's a lot we got to cover.
I love it. I love it. So let's hop right into it. What are the Tikoon tips of today?
So I'm pretty sure everybody has heard the term showbiz, and I think that when we hear the word showbiz, I think we think it's one word, but it's two. There's the show, and then there's the business. There's a lot of people that only focus on the show. And people in no business, and we need to be standing on business. Okay.
Yes.
I have a brand called the Tasmania Show. And I remember Yo Gotti, he said in an interview that he was doing over assets over liabilities. They were talking about his label CMG. And they said to him, they was asking him about how he built his brand. And he said, this is a real company. He was like, this ain't no logo on no t-shirt. He said, this ain't just we bought an LLC and got it. Right. And I was like, and made an Instagram page. And I'm like, okay, is this how you start a business, kid? Do we think is get the social media, get the logo on a t-shirt? Don't even trademark it, right? But there are steps to this. And I think that when we're excited, we want to put the show out there. We want to get the domain, even with us, like get the domain, get the logo, get all these different things, but you ain't standing on no business. You don't know P&L, you ain't got no taxes, you ain't reaching out to the people to let them know nothing. And it's like, when I looked at that, I'm like, yo, like, how many more artists would be successful if they were to focus on the business? For example, you know how many artists I've come across? I don't want to do that. I just want to be creative. And then you be the same one in a 360 deal getting fucked around and you mad. Like, nigga, you didn't want to do the business. So it's like looking at the people that are the Yo Gottis or the Jay-Z's or the Rick Rosses, you see the difference, or the Tycoons, 50 Cents, Taz Tycoon. Like, just really, my tip would just to be to everybody talking about standing on business, stand on your show business, stand on your business. And I know we're in a content era, and I think that that's where we stop at. We're like, oh, let's create content. Are you going to monetize it? Are you trying to get paid through YouTube, through TikTok? Like, where does this go? Because these are hobbies. These aren't businesses. And we need to be very clear. We need to be, this is my t-shirt. It's a hobby. It's not a business. And just because you collect a couple cash and you got Cash App, you have a business bank account. You know what a DBA is? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have articles of incorporation. It's like the stuff that we really don't like to do. Like we talk about in basketball, going with your left hand. I think it's important to do the business, understand it, be on point, because those little things, even like not paying taxes, like Wesley Snipes and the IRS back in the day, like we just really need to handle business. And what's done in the dark always comes in the light. It's like maxing out credit cards. Them creditors, you can do whatever you want, but they coming back to get it. So you can either handle the business or not. And I just, and I've been guilty of that, been worried about the show. We wanted to look a certain way, but in reality, your business ain't making no money. And too many of us to stop trying to look like money and actually make money. So that's my Tycoon tip. Make some money.
That's awesome. So now I can also see, especially from a young artist, just having that perception, because what they visually see is people looking like money, right? But a lot of times the business side is not glorified or not necessarily laid out for people to have some type of roadmap on how to actually stand on business. So from your perspective and your experience, like, what would you, I guess, recommend to a new artist who has the content, who has the creativity, who has everything else from that side, but don't really know where to start from a business side? What would be some tips, you would give that young artist?
I got a couple of tips. My first one would be, I'm booked and busy. I would say, get this book. Everything you need. It's like classic, written by a lawyer. Secondly, that would be everything from streaming to you name it. Secondly, I'd say get a team. You know, I heard 21 Savage got some advice from Jay-Z. He said, you need 3 people in your life. You need a doctor, you need a lawyer, and you need a chef. Make sure you got them. They're going to feed you good. They're going to take care of you, and they're going to make sure you all right. And I was like, okay. And if it comes to business, that's your lawyer, that's your manager, and maybe your booking agent. I don't know, like have a team, because I feel like if you get a team and opportunities come, you're not trying to find people to put in position. And I think I made that mistake early. It's like that's my president. That's my I can't appoint you. It's like you gotta want to be part of the business. You know what I'm saying? So I think that really being able to see it. So then that way, when stuff starts to happen and you read this book, what does a manager do? Then you tell your manager, go do this. What does a producer do? You know the roles, know who's to do what, but then also to be prepared to wear all the hats. Learn every single thing so that you're not blaming someone else for your inability to be able to create for yourself. So making your distro kid, making you United Masters, learning production, learning how to record yourself. Because I will say that a lot of times people make excuses. I'll give you one of the biggest myths ever. I thought it took months to mix a song. So every time my music came out, I'm waiting months. And I got an engineer that mixed it in a couple hours. And I'm like, okay, did something change over the last few years? Like, why is everybody mixing so fast? He was like, oh, he was bullshitting you. Because if you don't know the process, you could be like, we've shot music videos. Niggas be like, it take 2 months. It don't take 2 months. You're lazy and you don't have good time management. So you're telling me something takes 2 months because you took the money because you ain't really had a time. And that's what it is. So understand the scope, pay attention, be in these rooms, watch podcasts. You know, I don't know it all, but like I said, I would definitely start with this book and get you a team, man.
Yeah. So it sounds like you have to be both the player and the coach.
Yep.
You got to be able to run the show and delegate, right? But also you got to be in the game too to make the whole shit move. So
man, and I think sometimes too, I'll give you another tip. If you're trying to make it seem like you have a team, like let's say that in your email, you email on behalf of you as an artist. So like, let's say I'm emailing for Taz, but they don't know it's Taz. Hi, my name is Blue Chips, and I'm emailing you on behalf of Taz, just so that it feels like that some people do that. They create a fake little person that comes off as their booking person or whatever. So, but yeah, you got to coach, you got to play. And then once you learn how to do both, when it's time to hire the right players, you'll be able to coach them. So
that's awesome. I love that.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
cool.
So what about you, sis? You got to flip your chips and dip. You dig? What you got for the tips today?
Awesome. So, honestly, I think one of the things that stood out to me this week was consistency. Like they always say, hard work beats talent any day, right? And so with trading, it's easy to say, okay, I've learned this concept. This is pretty simple and easy. I think I got it. But if you don't show up every day, just like anything else, you start to fall off, right? So same difference, like let's just say, if you play basketball and you haven't played in a while, you get back on the court, you shoot an air ball and you think it's going, right?
Going up.
Ooh, a little rusty, right? So it's the same thing here. Like in order to continue to develop your skills and become a better trader, you have to show up consistently. And I think a lot of people kind of misconstrue that and think, oh, I made $500 for the day, or I made $200 for the day, I'm good. But even if you make $1 the next day, show up so you can basically tune up your skills and continue to be a better trader. So that's what I would say. It's just that consistency. And that's in anything in life, to be honest. But specifically with trading, is pivotal because you'll start to see things that you didn't initially see just because you made that shift, right? So those losses that you take, always say that they're lessons. And if you don't take losses, you don't learn the lessons, and you can't take losses if you don't show up. So yeah.
Yo, I got a question for you on that. You said that show up every day and be consistent. That's obviously something that you can a life skill to have. But I also remember you said in a previous episode that the psychology sometimes whenever you have a goal, once you hit that goal, you advise people to get out. So if I'm understanding you correctly, if I've already hit my goal, but your advice is still keep showing up, how does a person, just so that there's no confusion, well, I didn't hit 500 for the day.
Right.
I hit 500, but keep showing up. So should I go get more money? Like
That's
don't know if that was
a great question.
yeah.
So in that aspect, let's say your goal was 500 for the week and you hit it in one day. So the next day you just trade with what they call a demo account. So that way you're practicing, but you're not losing your real money. You see what I'm saying? So you still
Oh,
getting the reps
okay.
in, but you're not, you know, you still securing your profits. Yep.
Okay. That's right. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's a great
So
question.
yeah, I look at y'all paying attention. I'm picking up. I'm like, let me ask the questions because I feel
Uh-huh.
like that's one of the good things about this, right? The us being in two different worlds. Like I'm that person that's like, say it in layman's terms for everybody in the
Yeah.
back that don't understand what India what Blue Chips just said. Yo, this what she said, y'all. I got
Yeah.
y'all. So
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. All right, so let's move to the next one. So what's the mogul moves? Let's talk about that.
Mogul moves. You know, I'm always
Mhm.
deciphering between a few, but I'm gonna today. Are you familiar with Rap Snacks?
Yes.
I love.
Mhm.
What's your
They're
favorite
pretty
bag?
good. Yeah.
You got a bag?
The barbecue jumps?
Okay, I like the biggie ones, the honey jalapeno with biggie.
Okay.
That's my
Yeah.
flavor. Yeah, shout out to Rap Snacks. Apparently this business has been in business over 20 years now. I didn't know that, but they're everywhere. At first, I only saw it in Atlanta, but you could see them in gas stations and things like that. And according to Rap Snacks is a company. I forgot who the owner's name is, but Master P and Romeo were the people that kind of ushered them into the business. And
Right.
chips first started with Romeo's face. Apparently, Romeo was the first person on the bag of chips, the honey barbecue. But when
Mm,
Romeo was a young kid, apparently he wasn't old enough to collect the money on his behalf.
mm,
So apparently something came out recently. I'm hoping that it doesn't get to this, but Romeo, I think, is about to sue Rap Snacks. His
mm,
daddy is a part of Rap Snacks. So
mm.
it's like, are you suing? Like, that's the weird part about what's happening. If y'all want to flip y'all chips, Rap Snacks, y'all can come over here and flip it.
We ain't gonna sue you for our chips.
Can we get our own bag? Can we go, hey, Rap Snacks? Can we get the
Right.
flip your chips, blue chips edition? We need to talk about that. You know,
Right.
since y'all got a little stuff going on. We'll handle this, y'all.
Mhm.
Shout out to Romeo and Master P, but I couldn't help myself. But so apparently the owner of Rap Snacks said we gave your daddy the check. And then Romeo said, that's
Mm.
like giving my cousin a check. And I come to you for my money, you'd be like, well, your cousin got the check. Like, what does that have to do with
You're
me?
right. You're
Like,
right.
that's your dad. But apparently, I heard someone saying that when you're at that age, right, and someone uses your name and likeness, because I think he's only been paid less than it's a couple million that he's talking about. And he's using the example of Flow Rider and Celsius. You know,
Mm,
like Flow Rider, he was like, Flow Rider had this whole situation with Celsius, and then he won. He said that changed that man's life,
mm,
and it's a weird space because I guess what the media is trying to portray is that the money was never given to Romeo, but you know how like let's for example, like if your mom got let's say you get in a house and y'all got different dads, and the
yeah.
dad pays child support. Typically, the mom is going to take that child support and take care of the whole house. It's not going to
Right.
be like I'm going to take care of this child. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if Rap Snacks money came in, Romeo got a lot of, Pastor P got a lot of kids, but
Mhm.
also Master Romeo got kids now too. He got two
Mhm.
daughters, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's it's a different type of mogul move, but I will say I pray for healing energy and that they can come to an agreement
Mm,
because what I would hate to see is Romeo suing his father. That's what I
mm,
don't want to end up happening
yeah.
because Rap Snacks, if they keep saying we ain't got nothing to do with this, let's not have a black family tear down this dynasty because he has rap noodles, cup noodles, he has cereal, he has all of these different things. So I just pray they get it together. And like I said, Rap Snacks, if y'all want to holler at us, flip your chips, you know, we're interested. We could talk. We got flavors, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Y'all ain't got no vegan chips, so we could have vegan one.
We can take that home.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mumbo sauce. That's what could
Oh
be
yeah,
vegan.
we definitely gotta do that.
I just seen Master P the other day. I'm not gonna tell you where I saw him at because I can give out his business, but I'm a yo, you know, let me talk to you for a minute. I'm flipping my chips.
Right. Let
Oh,
them know.
but
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely hope it doesn't come down to that. I understand it's a thin line between personal and business when it comes to those type of situations. So I just hope they figure it out. Yeah, because it's not worth all that.
I don't, yeah, I'm tired of seeing families being broken up and us just being pitted against each other. It's dope that, you know, a black owned company, like we went from Aunt Jemima being on the face of a pancake box and we ain't even own it. The white man was making money off the black face. And now we got
Yeah.
black people, you know what I'm saying? The ownership is in it.
Countless times over. They do
Yeah.
it all the time, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
I know that'd be a whole nother outside. We could do
Yeah.
what episode. Was you a field nigga or a house nigga? No, I'm just joking. But no, let's get into these this weekly success and testimonials. You got
Yeah.
anything that you want to let the people know about? I forgive me when I get here, right? Because you do it's a lot of stuff, and when I get here, sometimes I get a little like, yeah, and then tell them what you do, what's going on in the percentages and the people, and like, forgive my ignorance. Your introduction
Okay.
speaks to flawless tycoon tips, and I'm like, talk that talk, sis. Like,
Yeah, that's all right though. So this week, well, actually, I want to kind of do a recap of last month. Last month we finished with 75% gain,
okay,
which was actually pretty incredible for our first month just as a unit. And so far this week we are at 20% profit. So doing some really good numbers. I will have soon, not right now, but soon I will have a testimonial so you all can kind of hear from some of the people that, trade with me on a daily basis. So I'm excited about that. And last but not least, the Blue Chips Academy is now live. All right, you can get that at bluechipsacademy.com. All right, so all the sauce, all the juice that you need to know about how we getting these returns and how we making it happen, you can get all that information on
look at your shirt right there. What's that?
Oh yeah, that's Blue Chip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
Blue
that
Chip.
was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, let's just continue to build.
You know,
So
I was gonna ask you
good.
two things real quick. When you
Mhm.
said last month you ended at 75%, and right now you're at 20%.
Yeah.
Like, does your week end on a certain date? Like, so,
Yeah.
okay, if right now you're at 20, like,
hmm
could you still get to 75? And if you do, when does it close off? Like, for you to judge for the week?
So I trade Monday through Friday. Sometimes I don't trade on Fridays, just depending on how the volume is in the market. You can trade Saturday and Sunday. You just have to be careful because there's not a lot of people trading on the weekends, not a lot of volume. But yeah, so Monday through Friday is
So
pretty
right
much the
now,
goal.
so tomorrow's the end of the week. So when you
hmm
say that you're at 75%, like right now you're at 20%, that's as of Thursday.
Yep.
But if we come to Monday, what would be the last day that you would look at your week and be like, this is what I did for the week? Like, how do you quantify the percentage for the week? Like, when is that?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, because it's Friday, because
hmm
you say Monday through Friday.
Yep.
Okay.
hmm
So by
Yep.
tomorrow, you'll know, like, okay, if it's 20%, whatever the number is at the end of the day, that's your percentage, what you did for the week. Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
My last thing,
hmm
before we go to our commercial break for Tide Water and we get into
hmm
our flip,
Yeah.
I feel like I want to call you Trader Joe. Um,
Or DC Trader Mo. But
Trader
nah, go
Joe.
ahead.
Nah, that's it, yo. Because I'm over here listening. You know, I trade here, and I'm like, "Man, you a Trader Joe? Like, you be trading?"
Uh-huh.
No, we need to see. My branding hat is going off, so we need to holler at Rap Snacks
hmm
about flipping the chips, and then we need to talk to Trader Joe's about you have to holler at Blue Chips. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to trade, okay? Want to trade?
Yep.
Let's go Trader Joe, Trader
Yep.
Mo. Okay,
Yep.
I'll start calling you that during the segment. But
hmm
yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our Tide Water commercial break, and when we come right back, we getting into the flip.
Oh
Tide
yeah.
Water. Let's get it, y'all. Gang, gang.
Good stuff. Let's go. All right.
Welcome back to Flip Your Chips. This episode is brought to you by Tide Water. Stay with it.
Yes, yes. So one of my favorite parts of the show is talking about the flip. And this week, something that resonated with both of us is basically self-awareness. How do you actually, discover your self-awareness, and then why is that important? And what do you do with that information once you become self-aware of certain parts of yourself? So I guess my first question to you, Tez, is what are some significant things that have happened for you or helped you become self-aware of certain things of yourself? And then what did you do with that information once you found it out?
Ways that I became self-aware.
Mhm.
I think first thing I took accountability. I think it started with accountability. I'm looking like, okay, let me be accountable for these decisions, these actions, and things like that. But then there's another level to accountability. It's like, okay, and even self-awareness, right? I don't think that let me make this disclaimer. We shouldn't just be out here being like, I'm aware of myself. Like self-awareness, you should go put some action behind it. Like once
Yeah.
you become aware, go do
Yeah.
something about it. Like somebody might be like, I'm aware that I'm negative. And it's just, but don't be negative, nigga. Change that.
Okay.
So I would say
I'm
that,
aware too. But go
yeah,
ahead.
when you become aware, you gotta be like, are you aware? Do you like what you're aware of, or do you want to
Mhm.
change it? And I think
Mm.
in my instance, I became aware of some things that I wasn't like happy about with myself. But I think that being by myself allowed me to see that.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I think it's like this, right? Like somebody could regurgitate everything about Chris Brown, whoever their favorite artist is, right?
Mhm.
May
Mhm.
not know themselves. You can
Yeah.
say, I know his favorite color, I know his favorite food, but you don't know your triggers, and you don't know boundaries, and you don't know none of these things about yourself. So we get so hyper obsessed with celebrity, entertainment, sports, all types of culture that we know everything about everybody, but we know nothing about ourselves.
Mm.
You can tell me everything about everybody, but you don't know nothing about you. And so when someone's getting to know you, let's say that it's not progressing because the person that they're getting to know, they can't get to know because you didn't know them. So how can you get somebody, bring somebody in your life and ask them to get to know you if you didn't know you? So now you
Mhm.
got two people trying to figure out who somebody is because I didn't take the time to be self-aware.
Mm.
And it's like, damn. But then we don't want to be alone, so we grab a partner. Well, I don't know who I am, but I know you. So come be with me, and we gonna know each other, and then we gonna know ourselves. And there's a
Right.
lot of people that are in relationships and they know each other, but they don't know themselves. So all
Mm.
you're doing is judging that person. I don't like how you do this, and I don't like how you do that. Ask a
Mm.
person what they want to see more in a relationship or what they do like. They don't really know, but they could tell you everything they dislike. So
Yeah.
I think being alone, I think you told me this a lot, journaling and praying and just really auditing yourself and taking an inventory of your day. And I think more importantly is let's stop saying we don't have the time to be better. Because if we all took an audit of our time, I think that it's not that we don't have the time, it's that we don't want to sacrifice the things that we're doing in place of those times.
Yeah.
It's like I really want to play the game. I don't really want to be learn Spanish. I really want to smoke. I don't really want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Say we don't have time. And the reality is that you do have time. You're just choosing to spend it in other ways. So I think being real with yourself,
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable and it's ugly. And I think it's great when you can see yourself and you don't have to let somebody tell you about yourself. Like I was reflecting about myself recently and I was like, man, like I didn't know this about me, like inherit in generational curses, things that you inherit and habits from your family. Sometimes I will tell you, go cold turkey and break away from everything that's influencing you. Because
Mm.
your mother's thoughts might be on you, your dad, your girlfriend. And
Mm.
sometimes you got to just shake that identity crisis off because you're dealing with different people and their energies are just like intertwining with you and you don't really know. You just don't know who you are. And I feel like it can be scary
Mm.
because people will more than likely want to sit down at a bar and have a drink with you. Tell me about yourself, than to sit in silence and tell you about yourself. That's
Mm.
so hard to do. Can you sit in a room and if you want to have a glass of wine, could you talk to yourself? I talk to myself a lot, but
Mhm.
everybody don't know how to do that. Everybody can't be with themselves. And a lot of times people can't be with themselves because they don't like who they
Mhm.
are. I
Mm.
like being by myself because I'm aware of who I am and I don't
Right.
piss me off. But once
Mm.
I got to the root of certain characteristics, I'll say that it's character
Mhm.
habits that I want
Right.
to. So I kind of went all over the place with that. I don't know if I answered your question,
Yeah.
but
No, you did. You did.
like I
You
was
did.
getting lost in, and I didn't want to. I wanted to bring myself back real quick before I kept
Yeah.
going.
Nah. Nah. For real. So I think a lot of times. So that's definitely one perspective. And then you have another perspective where people want to be self-aware, but they don't know where to start. Right. And so it's like, I want to change, but I don't even know what to change. I'm just tired of getting the same results. You see what I'm saying? And so I think in that perspective, when you're in that place, I personally, just recommend writing down your pros and your cons of your circumstance. right? Writing down your strengths and your weaknesses. And then get maybe 3 to 4 people in your circle that you really trust and you know that has your best interest, and ask them, what do you think is my strength? What are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? And if they connect with what you have, or if what they send back to you is the same as the other person, then you kind of have a starting point. Okay, everybody keeps telling me that I don't listen. So let me focus in on that. And how do I go about fixing that? And so then now once you identify the problem, then you can find a solution. And so you'll get to a point where now it's like, okay, now I can kind of figure this out on my own. And like they always say, you don't want to get into a point. I forgot who said this, but it was this great quote I heard. And it says, you always want to be flexible because you don't want to have to, he said, you always want to be flexible before you have to change. Or it was something like that. Basically, you want to be flexible enough that you don't have to change when you have to, but because you want to. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, okay, you're on a trajectory of steady growth versus changing because you're now in a situation where you have to change or your circumstances is going to change. So either you're going to change or your circumstances are going to change.
That I can feel that, and personally on so many levels, just private conversations that we've had, about like changing, and like you said, you can either make the change or wait for circumstances that force you to make those changes, and then you don't really have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But adapt to it, and just I think also to embracing the uncomfortability.
Yeah.
Self-awareness can be very ugly,
Yeah.
and learn how to have grace with yourself as you're trying to change. Like, don't beat yourself up. Well, you're a
Yeah.
bad person. You got to talk nice to yourself. And
Yeah.
that's juxtaposition. Like, how do I talk nice to me without being mean to me?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's not going to feel good. So I would just encourage people, like, when you're writing down the pros and cons, like if it's like I talk too much, or I'm loud, or I'm whatever, don't let those adjectives that people use to describe you to become your truth, and then you personalize them, and now you feel like I am that person, because
Yeah.
only have the power that you give them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. Like you said, you're not your traits, right? You are who you are. You might have certain things that you need to fix, like we all do. We all have things we need to fix. But when you make a conscious effort of changing that, you'll start to get to know and become more self-aware of yourself. And you'll start to identify your flaws faster too. The more that you become open to change, you be like, hold on, I don't really like how I handled that situation or how I responded to this. Let me fix that, versus having so much ego involved in the situation where you don't even see where you went wrong. You just looking at the other person and how they made you feel. But what part did you play in the situation? So when you take self-accountability, it takes everything out, because now I'm changing for me. When you change for yourself, there's nothing else that matches that. A lot of times, especially in relationships, people would change for somebody else. That's only temporary, because that's not who you want to be. That's not something that you believe in. But if you believe in that, then it's going to stay, because that's the person that you want to be. So no matter how this person responds to this or how they handle this type of circumstance, it don't matter, because at the end of the day, this is the type of person I am. These are the morals that I stand on, regardless of how you respond or how you act. This is who I am, and that's what it is at the end of the day. So,
Well,
yeah,
not, I ain't gonna hold you. This felt like therapy. I ain't even started my new life coach session yet. I'm supposed to start next week, and this today. This hit me in so many ways, and I would just encourage everybody, like, to really take the time. Like, if you don't do anything, you may have a girl that you want to get, a guy you want to get, a job you want to get. Just try to get to know you.
yeah,
I, I don't know if anybody made that a resolution. Really
yeah,
get to know yourself, understand the things that you like and dislike. If you got to disappear, get off social media and reemerge. Like, every day you wake up is a new chance to be a new person.
yeah,
Like, the past is the past. So today you are exactly whoever you want to be. And if you want to say that I'm the most amazing, abundant, wealthiest person, and I'm positive from this day forward, that's who you can believe yourself to be. And anybody that knows you of your past, don't judge that. That's one last thing I'll say. Be cognizant that when you're changing, do not get upset when people haven't seen your change.
mm,
They try to hold you back to be the change that the old person. You used to do that when you was 13. I'm 25.
Mhm.
Like I'm
Mhm.
not doing the same shit at 25 at 13.
I would
Like,
hope not.
like
Correct.
he wasn't using that lotion. Yeah, I don't use baby lotion anymore. I'm using grown-up lotion now. Like, like
I'm
whatever.
silky smooth. I'm moisturized now.
Right. So like let's not get upset when someone doesn't notice. Like, and I'll tell you this, it's easy. Kevin Hart, I'll say this too. Kevin Hart said one of the reasons why he likes to people that work out is because it shows you how disciplined they are. You can't cheat a person that's in the gym. You
Mhm.
cannot tell me I be in the gym. I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna see it. But
Mhm.
anything else, people are gonna talk about it.
Yep.
So I feel like when it comes to damn, I lost my train of thought. Transforming yourself and what I'm sorry, what did Kevin Hart say? Oh, he was basically just saying that you can't cheat it. And I'll
Mhm.
tell you this, when you're going to see family, and let's say you got a new hair color, a new boo, some new tattoos, those are obvious things. No one's gonna see that you've been meditating. No one's
Yeah.
gonna see that you've been praying. No one's
Yeah.
gonna see that you've been reading. So
Right.
some external things that are going to make people identify that you've changed. So if you have not changed physically,
Yes.
be upset that they can't mentally see the change, and
Yes.
don't be so caught up in proving to anybody. Like, can't you
Yep.
see I'm smarter? Can't you see I'm a better listener? Like,
Yep.
I just want to I don't know why I felt the need to kind of put that
Yeah.
disclaimer out
No,
there.
that's a great point. And that goes back to what I was saying. Like when you change for you, it don't matter if they get it or not. That's
Yeah.
not their path. That's not their journey. You see what I'm saying? I'm filling my cup up. That's all I feel good about me. I could care less if you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
That's your journey. That's for you to catch up. I'm not tripping off of that. So if you don't understand, it's okay. Understand that you're not just in the place to receive or understand my path.
Mhm.
And it's up to you if you even want to understand it or not. But at the end of the day, because I'm doing this for me, your response has nothing to do with me.
Mm. And I think that when you get to that point, you realize who you really did it for. If you're affected, then you know you did it for the wrong reason.
That's right.
Let me not say if. Emotions can be
Yeah,
different.
because you're still gonna feel it, especially if it's somebody that's close to you, but you're
Yeah,
not gonna let that take you off your journey. It's not gonna take
right.
you off your path. Yeah.
Right. Love yourself and yeah, man, not that. Man, I don't know what this that just that's that I needed this. I don't
You
know if
hope
I
you
came here
know.
for y'all or y'all came here for me.
Yeah, right.
But this ain't about y'all today. This is about me. I got my little therapy public session
Right.
today.
So look, don't forget to get y'all tide water. Tap into the new course, bluechipsacademy.com. We here every Thursday giving you all the information and gems that we can share. We love y'all. We
Like,
catch you in the next one. Oh, yes. Go ahead,
subscribe.
Chad. Take us out. Take us
Come
out.
on.
You
All
do
right.
the
You need
thing.
to
Go ahead.
like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, put something in the comments, listen to Blue Chips. Let us know what y'all think about that.
Yeah.
And like, just be ready because
Yep.
every Thursday we come and flip chips. We making tycoons.
Let's get it.
Joe.
Let's go. Peace.
See you next Thursday. All right.
All right.